Do you want to win more arena matches? Well, then you need to understand the strategies and abilities of the most common teams you will be facing. In this video, that is exactly what I will be showing you, along with some general tips on how to beat these teams. I'm Axie Explained. Let's jump right in. Now, the absolute most common team you will be facing on Arena is the Plant Double Aqua team. Now, the plant, as is all plants I will be discussing in this video, generally use the same build, which is that of giving them shield and an ability to generate energy. There are some variations, but that is the general build of the plant. Now, when it comes to the two Aquas, they are basically the same with one distinct difference. 3 of the mid lane Aqua's abilities are damage focused, but usually their 4th ability is Nemo, aka Tail Slap, a 0 mana card which allows them to generate a bit more energy. The backline Aqua, on the other hand, replaces this low damage Nemo card with another damage card, usually Koi, aka Upstream Swim, which also gives them a speed boost so that they have the advantage in any 1v1 situation at the end of the game. With the abilities out of the way, let's focus on the strategy. In the beginning phases of the match, they will usually use up all their energies on abilities. Now, the reason for this is because one Aqua doesn't usually have enough power to kill the plant. So if they wanted to kill your plant tank, they would probably need a combination of both Aqua Axies using a considerable amount of abilities. This will require them to save up their energy for a round of 2, but that opens them up for you to steal energy from them. So to mitigate this, they usually go for the strategy to push damage from the start, leaving 0 energy behind for you to steal, and dealing chip damage over time to defeat your plant. Because after your plant is defeated, because of the general better stats that you get with an Aqua, they will defeat the rest of the Axies behind it. So my tip on how to beat this team is not to waste your time on trying to use your plant's serious ability, as you will usually not be able to steal any energy from them, as they will be sitting on 0 energy. This would mean that you're basically wasting 1 energy on a 30 attack and 30 shield card. Next team up for review is the classic and my first team, Plant Beast Bird. Your mid laner, the Beast, basically has 2 different builds. One is the all-out damage build, which uses the double nuts with the critical strike combo. The second build is a bit more focused on generating energy by including ability like Cottontail, which costs 0 and gains you an energy, and thus also makes it easier to complete the critical strike combo. The bird usually has a bunch of damage abilities plus Dark Swoop, using Dark Swoop to prioritize the enemy's fastest, and in that case usually highest damage dealing Axie, with the idea of trying to take that Axie out of the game without going through the tank first. Strategies when facing this team. Number 1. Take a look at the Beast's abilities. If the Beast uses Cottontail, you can expect them to be much quicker in using their critical strike combos. Try and plan for your plant's defensive abilities around this. For against the bird, you want to make sure that your fastest Axie draws value from the game before they get destroyed. Therefore, my advice would be to use your fastest Axie's abilities as much as you can before the bird gets an opportunity to destroy it. This allows your fastest Axie to still make a difference in the game, but this advice is dependent on the game situation. The last team which I'll be reviewing is what I call Plant X Reptile, which has been gaining a lot of popularity over the recent times. The main focus of this team is obviously around the Reptile, which most commonly uses the Terminator build, regarded as the strongest Reptile build at the moment. The Reptile is usually your backliner, and the mid laner is usually a Beast or an Aqua or even another Reptile, but this varies a lot, so I'm going to focus on the Terminator Reptile. The Terminator uses the abilities Chomp, Mystic Rush, Allergic Reaction, and Sticky Goo. This guy is basically the king of 1v1s, as they have a good amount of shield, a good amount of damage, 2 stuns, and an energy efficient way to create their combo. Chomp stuns an enemy when comboed with 2 other cards, so usually they would use their Mystic Rush ability to have a 3-card combo only cost 2 energy, making it usable each turn. The other stun is in their defensive ability Sticky Goo, which means when their shield gets broken, the Axie breaking the shield is stunned. And finally, they have their energy efficient damage combo, which uses yet again Mystic Rush for 0 energy, dealing 40 damage, and applying a speed debuff to the target, which then triggers the additional damage on their allergic reaction. So for basically 1 energy, they deal 170 base damage. Strategies for facing this team is very difficult because of all the variations, so let me focus on how to handle the Terminator Reptile. The easiest way is to either have a bug or beast to do more damage against the reptile. This could mean considering a team where your beast is the backliner so that it has enough time to get to the other reptile. Usually, if your beast is a mid laner, it dies before you can even reach the reptile at the end. Secondly, in an ideal situation, you want to get to a point where you have 2 Axies versus their 1 Reptile. More likely though is that you will fall into a 1v1 situation against this Axie, in which case you should hope and pray that they only have 2 energy per turn to spend, forcing them into decision of using Snail Shell, Allergic Reaction, or Chomp. You can try and lay a trap for them by saving your energy on a turn you think they're going to use a sticky glue and thus do less damage to you, so you can try and kill them the turn after in 1 turn. Basically, you have to be very smart in anticipating your opponent's moves. But as I said, this is very difficult. If you're facing a lot of reptiles on the ladder, I would consider trying to get some beast or bug moves into your lineup. If that isn't a possibility, try and rush the team down to get into a 2v1 situation. By watching this video, you are 1 step closer to that 2000 rating. Go forth and use your knowledge to win some games.